Hello, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels live hospitality talk show. Thank you so much for joining today. Happy Tuesday, June 21st. Let me just make sure, of course, that there's always something I always forget to do, right? And it has to do with getting my notes up here, so people can make comments and reaction. Because you know why? Because I welcome your comments. I welcome your interaction. It's one of those shows where you can interact with the guest, right? Or you interact with the guest, or in this case, the host, because there's no guest today, right? But feel free to, put your questions out there. You make your comments. Just let me know that you're there. Let me know who you are, and that way I can give you just a quick shout out. So at the very minimum, you're going to get that, right? Today is show number 164, On Air with Russell of Hotels. We are live on YouTube. This has been our platform of choice for a minute now, going on several months now, and so far so good. Had some hiccups. I don't know if they're me, them, or what. I'm not sure, but we're not even gonna, claim that. We're gonna claim that today that all is gonna be well. Okay, so there you go. But we're live on YouTube. Soon after this is over, I do put the recorded version onto LinkedIn, onto Facebook, onto Twitter as well. So if you don't watch it live, that's okay, because you get another opportunity to check it out if you want to see the video portion. Now, if you prefer the podcast version, of course, I'm doing podcasts at the same time, right? So this is actually a podcast as well. This happens to be video. And then after this is over, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, it'll be there too. But give me to end of the day for that, right? Well, in like 5 o'clock. That's what I mean, end of the day. So as soon as after this is over, because I have to upload this onto the platform for the podcast. But it's easy to do. It's not about me. It's about how fast, it goes through the computer and uploads and all that stuff. Charles Skiffer says, "What's up? All is well?" Yes, all is well. Thank you so much. I'm glad all is well is with you as well. So thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate that. I did, I've been on this live kick lately. I'm not sure if you guys follow me on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. But I've been doing these kind of impromptu lives where, I talk about whatever, but today I actually did a promo for the show. Just basically, hey, don't forget show number 164, whatever. I hadn't done that before. So I want to see what the response is for people to actually watch it if I give them, a heads up that the show is coming. Because it's one thing to do a posting, but it's something else to do a live, where you can people actually see you. So I want to see what the difference is, so we're going to check it out and we're going to see. So, but thank you guys so much for joining. I do appreciate it. We're all about connecting people, collaboration, and hashtag hospitality unplugged. Before I go any further, I forgot YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. So anytime I go live, you can, you'll get a notification, and that's what it's all about. So make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube, get a notification. What's going on. What the heck is this Russell talking about now? So, but yeah, so I had to say that because I always tend to forget that. You always got to toot your own horn, right? I always mention that, if you're not your best brand advocate, who is, right? So that's why I've been doing a lot more lives, I think, because you don't want people to forget who you are. I'm not saying that they're going to forget me, because they probably won't, but you never know, right? So you want to make sure you continue to post things to stay top of mind, because people's attention span is really short, okay? Especially if there's other things coming at them. You got work, you got, your life. And then if you're on social media, you only get so much time to get people's attention, right? So, that's just how it is. People's attention spans are short. So, they're looking for somebody to entertain them, right? Or say something that resonates with them. So I don't know if I need to start, dressing up or dancing or whatever. I don't know what I need to do, but I'm trying to get people's attention, keep their attention, let them know what I'm about, let them know what I do, and then we move forward from there. So, but anyway, there you go. Show number, I already said show number 164. Didn't I say that already? I want a quick thank you to a couple of people here. Paula C. Down there in Brazil. I do appreciate, today. Although she asked me to speak with her and her company about being a director of sales and marketing, things like that. So, I mean, that was my pleasure to do that, Paula. So, I mean, she thanked me, sent me a note on LinkedIn as well. But no, that was my pleasure. It just, it keeps things fresh, right? The more questions I get asked about hotels and, what it was like on property, it keeps me fresh. And of course, I although I'm not working on property, I still communicate with people that are on property now because I have to, I got to get a gauge of what's going on. I can't come on this show and talk about things if someone's not sharing information with me, right? So some of it is from my own experience from like when I, go into a property, but I'm on the other side now, right? So 25 years on the hotel side now, going on 10 years on this side, right? So it's a little different. But we expect things just like each side expects things from each other, right? So, but I do want to thank Policy for that. Robin Moncrief, Don't Look Under the Bed podcast. I want to thank her as well for yesterday. For the first time in like 100 times I've asked her to do it, she actually went live with me yesterday. So it was kind of impromptu. I guess I caught her at the right time. Maybe she was at work. She was in the middle of project. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I asked her to come on. She said, okay, actually she requested to come on. And I'm just like, click, okay, there you go. So we got her on for a couple of minutes. It wasn't long, and that's it. They don't need to be long, right? Lives don't need to be long, but it's just important that, we know what other people do, right? Did I know? I'm not even sure if I knew she was a dual director of sales. Okay, a dual director of sales means she has two properties that she's responsible for. So she has a Marriott, a full service Marriott, and a Residence Inn in Houston that she's responsible for both of them, right? So it's not like she's just selling one property. She's selling two different products, right? They're both hotels, but one's a long-term stay. Which one is that? That's the Residence Inn. That's a long-term stay hotel. And then it's not full service, it's limited service, and then a full service Marriott. So that's, two different things, two different markets, two everything. Although they could be in the same area, the same parking lot, but you're going after two different types of people because you're looking for people for the Residence Inn, people that are staying long-term, meaning I want to say 3 to 6 or 7 days or something like that. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for people that are going to be there over a week, right? That's your sweet spot. If you can get a lot of people over a week, then that's great, right? But for your full service hotel, you're not looking for that. You're looking for more, 1 to 3 nights, that kind of thing. Group business you're looking for. So two different markets, two different hotels. So thank you so much, Miss Robin Moncrief, for coming on. And of course, I want to thank Miss for last week. That is Miss Rona Hill, Senior Sales Manager. Something going on with my connection has stopped. So I'm looking at hold on one second. Gentleman just said something went on with my launch, and I have stopped, but that's okay. We will continue on. We continue on because guess what? We're doing a podcast too. So thank you so much. I look at comments just for the people that are on the podcast. I look at comments. People send me comments and they said something went wrong with my live stream. I'm not sure if it's him or me, but that's okay. But we continue to talk, and I'll continue to try to work on the video portion. But as far as what I know, it's still going. I'm not sure if, just on their end, they weren't able to see anything. But hey, the podcast continues to go. So this is Hollywood, right? So the show still goes on. But no, thank you so much, Skip. I appreciate that, and hope everyone is still there. But what was I saying? Oh, Miss Rona Hill. I want to thank Miss Rona Hill for being a guest last week. She's a senior sales manager at the DoubleTree by Hilton and Golf Resort in Palm Springs. So she was our guest last week. I do appreciate her coming on. That was great. We had a good time. I'd known Rona for years, right? So she's a sister of a good friend of mine, Victor, right? Victor Simmons. I'm not sure if you guys know who Victor is. I mean, he's been on the show maybe at least one time, but he's actually the VP of HR and D&I with Ace Hotels out of New York. So we've known each other. We went to school together. And then, I knew Rona, but Rona was younger. And then all of a sudden he tells me that, Rona's working at a hotel now. I'm like, what? So anyway, make a long story short, we finally hooked up and basically said, okay, come on the show, that kind of thing. And it worked out really well, although her phone overheated last week. See, that's the drawbacks of living in the desert, right? You got to worry about your phone overheating. I mean, where else do you got to worry about that? If it gets too cold, does it turn off too? I don't know. But that has happened to me before where my phone overheated and just turn off. But it wasn't in the middle of an interview though. You know what I mean? It wasn't during that time. But thank you so much, Rona. I'm not sure if she's on today, but thank you so much for coming on the show. That was fun. We got to get you on again because there's some stuff that I didn't get a chance to ask you. So we got to get you back on the show. But no, in fact, I'm gonna do everybody a solid here. Let me see if I can get this thing. What did I do? Let me see. One second. I'm trying to get this thing to. That is not what I'm trying to do. But anyway, let's continue on because something has gone awry with my all this thing. Hold on one second. Something scenes. Show scene window. There you go. Boom. Okay. So I had something disappeared. I don't know why, but let's get this off of here because it's confusing me. So real quick. So Rona is from as you can see on the screen, I changed the screen. It says Doubletree by Hilton. Just want to give her, give her a little love, give her hotel some love there. Doubletree by Hilton Golf Resort, Palm Springs. Show you the room overlooking the mountains there. I mean, you can't beat that, right? I mean, I want to go there now, okay? And then the pool shot. I mean, this is a great shot. Spectacular. You see the mountains in the background, little clouds, the golf course, beautiful pool. I mean, that's what it's all about. So thank you so much, Rona. I do appreciate you coming on the show. And, this is just a gift that keeps on giving. Although you're not on the show, I still showed the your amenities, your pool, and all that kind of stuff. So there you go. Let's see, industry stuff. Now, let me jump over here. Industry stuff. Okay, so I was during the little pre-show thing or the promo thing. I said, I'm gonna talk about these specific things, but I didn't really give a clue to what I was saying. It was just kind of all over the place. It was kind of sustainable versus profitability. I'm not even sure if that's what I want to say, but the question is to clean my room or not. Okay, we know what sustainability is, right? Basically in hotels where, let's just use an example, housekeepers, and cleaning rooms and now that, COVID is behind us or at least in the rear view mirror right now. When I check into a hotel, and I'm sure other people that have checked in a hotel, they've experienced this as well. They ask you a question. Do you want your room clean on a daily basis, or do you want your room clean when you check out? Like, say if I'm there for 3 days, they won't clean the room. They won't service the room at all until I check out in 3 days. So when I was asked this question at the last meeting that I had and went to a hotel, and it was in Denver, that was a question that was asked to me. So I said, no, clean my room after 3 days. Okay, when I check out, we clean the room. Okay, so what does that do? Okay, so it's sustainable, right? Because they're not washing sheets every day, right? They're not changing. They're not running water. So that's where the sustainability comes in. And of course, that leads to some profit because you're not paying that employee to come in there either. But then I thought on the flip side, well, the housekeepers don't have hours then, right? I come from, the hotel. I guess it's two rules of thumb, right? Okay, let me put my general manager's hat or my owner's hat on, right? So if I'm an owner, yeah, I'm saying that, yeah, we don't want them to work, right? Because we're saving money. But then those are the same people where they don't get their hours, they don't get insurance, they don't get anything like that. So, I mean, you got to think, I had to think when I said it, I was happy with that decision. But as I went through my stay there, I was like, this hallway is awful quiet. There's no one cleaning rooms. There's nothing like that. So are we responsible for that? And I guess I took it personal, right? After I made a decision, I just try to go about my meetings and stuff like that, my hotel life, right? But then I really started thinking about it. And I had a couple of conversations with people, and they brought it up too. So it wasn't like I'm the only one on this island that's thinking like that. Because especially if you come from the industry, and I've been a housekeeping manager, right, where people want hours, right? They want their hours. I remember people getting mad and crying because they didn't get like 2 hours. So and so got more hours than I did. Okay, well, that's just how it is. And then you play the seniority game and all that. And these were non-union hotels, right? That I was when I was a housekeeping manager. They were non-union hotels. So, but basically, you still try to do things on seniority based on how long they had been there, right? So, like I said, I remember I had changed a schedule. It wasn't even I'd reduced hours. I changed the schedule. The girl started crying because telling me that I don't love her anymore because I changed her schedule. I said, well, this is when I need you. This is when the business dictates when I need people, right? So, so getting back to, let me reel it back in here because I can go off on a tangent, right? But I'm telling you, I'm saying that sustainability versus profitability. That's, for the hotel ownership, things like that. But like I said, me as a former, housekeeping manager, former director of sales and marketing, former general manager, I really had to come to grips with this. Like, did I make the right decision? Because, it's hard to find people to go back to these jobs now, right? I've talked to people on both coasts, in the Midwest, in the South, okay? And they all are wrestling with the same thing where they don't have enough employees. And they say, well, what do you think that is? And I'm like, well, maybe they're not getting the hours. Maybe they went somewhere else. So I'm thinking about that stuff too, right? So I guess I'm taking it upon myself to, next time I check into a hotel, and if I'm asked that question again, I'm going to say, yeah, I want to clean it every day because it gives them hours, okay? That's what it comes down to for me, right? Because we all need to make money. We all need to take care of our family. Is it my responsibility? Maybe, because of where I came from. Yeah, I think it is. I think I owe it. Yes, I do. Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay. But like I said, the decision I made the decision and I had to live with it back then because I didn't really think about it. I just said, you know what? I don't want them. They don't need to come in my room, right? I'm thinking I'm doing them a favor by not having to work, but, they can still get paid. But no, and I forget that housekeepers are assigned based on how many rooms there are to clean that next day, right? So if in the forecast it says, we have a 100-room hotel and we're only going to have 20 rooms occupied that day, well, you're only going to bring enough people in for 20 rooms, and that's basically 2 people, right? So, I like I said, I just took it upon myself to, I've made that decision, and now moving forward, I'm gonna, if I'm asked that question again, I don't know if I will be. I don't know if we gone past that because it's been maybe about a month since I stayed in another hotel. But I'm going to say no. Clean my room every day, okay? Because I want somebody to come to work. I want somebody to make sure they're getting their hours because I want somebody to make sure they get their medical coverage. Boom, there you go. I'm done with that subject. So, agree or not, that's fine. You can always make comments. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I see no comments. I see Mr. Charles Skiffer still there. I see Mr. Stacy Hetman. Hey, what's going on? Video still good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So that's what I have to say about that. Now, my next thing I was going to talk about, I wasn't sure if I was going to touch this one or not. It's not a hot topic, anything like that, but it's about being an entrepreneur in this space, right? And having to chase down stuff. In fact, let me move this out of the way. because I've been dealing with some, as your own, as you own your own business. In this case, I mean, I do several different things, not just a radio show. I also hotel site selection, where I help companies and organizations find hotels for their meetings and groups and retreats and all that stuff, right? So, but after all that, when everything's said and done, the people have come and gone, contracts have been signed, and they've already gone about their business. The next step is making sure you get paid for your work with that hotel, right? And that's where follow up on your commissions, right? Now it should be a two way street, because the sales manager or the whoever's in charge of your rooms at that point, they can be the convention service, conference service manager, whatever they call them. They're responsible for basically totaling or tallying up or whatever, knowing who's owed commissions or not. It's a two-way street. Is half their job to know what that is, meaning you send out a group report, a group pickup report, and that way you know how many rooms were picked up. Because sometimes people leave early, and I'm not there, or people stay extra days. Okay, so I need a group pickup report. Once I get that, if an invoice is required, then that's when based on those numbers, I submit an invoice, right? And whatever percentage, the contract is at 7%, 10%, or whatever, I get a percentage of the total room revenue, right? My issue, what I've been having as being an entrepreneur, is not that I have to follow up. My issue is that hotels are not forthcoming with the information. And I'm not saying every hotel across the board, right? But I'm saying that, in fact, it just happened today, right? I mean, something just happened today. Dylan, coordinators often add last minute rooms as well. Exactly. See, so, the planner may not know all this stuff. So that's why we need a group pickup report. Send that to me. Then basically I can have a conversation with my client just to make sure, hey, do you remember, these rooms being picked up or whatever? And then we can go from there. I can submit an invoice, and boom, with Marriott and Hilton, they do it, what do you call it? The direct deposit these days, right? They only have to send a check. It's direct deposit, right? So which means you get your money. I get money in my account, sooner rather than later, right? So that's good. But I need this information in order to get there. And today it was almost like pulling teeth, right? So I got this email. I requested, and this has been going on. Okay, mind you, this group was in April. Okay, now we're in June. Okay, so soon after maybe I'm gonna say I gave them 2 weeks, and then I submitted a request, right, to get this information so I can get paid for it. And a couple of weeks went by, I didn't get any response, and then finally get a response because I emailed again. Get a response. This time the GM was copied on this, and I guess it's the GM's job to make sure it's taken care of. I'm doing group pickup reports right now as we speak. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, this is a director of sales that knows what I'm talking about. Okay, so thank you. So yeah, as you can see, I'm getting kind of agitated right here, right? But no, thank you so much, Robbie. So that's Robbie M. Don't Look Under the Bed podcast. That's the one I thanked earlier because she came on and did the live yesterday. I appreciate it. And then we got Dylan. Dylan's the general manager at the Fairfield Inn in Eugene, Oregon, right down the street from University of Oregon. And Robbie has 2 hotels. I told you she has 2 hotels in Houston. 2, not 1, 2. She's a dual DOS. One is the Residence Inn, and one is at the Full Service Marriott. So, boom. Okay, so these people know, right? And so Robbie knows what I'm talking about because she said she's doing a group pickup report right now. So anyway, so I get a email back from the DOS, and it's copied. The GM is copied on it. Oh, my GM will take care of it. Okay, I don't care who takes care of it. Just let me know what I need to do. So another 2 weeks goes by. It's more than 2 weeks, several weeks, and I'm still responding, and I'm not getting any response. So just yesterday, I sent another email, okay, to the GM this time because she was on she was copied as the one that's being in charge, right? So I get an email back from her this morning and saying, oh, I'm sorry for my lack of follow up. Okay, all right. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody misses emails. Okay, I understand. Um, did you submit an invoice to somebody with Hilton? I'm like, why would I submit an invoice without getting a group pickup report? I mean, that was highlighted on one of the previous emails, right? So I said, I'm not aware of your procedure. Could you communicate that to me? Because no, I have not given that. I have not been given that information. Okay, so but this is what I need in order for me to complete an invoice. I need this. Okay, I need this group pickup report before I can move any further. So so finally, she didn't send me a report. She just basically just typed on this is you know X amount of rooms, X amount of room nights. That was it. I'm like, is that what we doing now? But I'm okay. That's fine because what the numbers she gave me are the numbers that I had. But you have to confirm these, right? You don't just go off of like Dylan said. Sometimes the coordinators make reservations, or people stay over, or people leave early, or whatever. So that's why you want to have a consistent report with what the client has told me, right? Because believe me, I asked the client because the client was there, right? So I have to know exactly what it is before I submit it to be paid, right? So she just typed something and sent it to me, and I'm like, oh, okay. No formal report. I said, and that's fine because, like I said, the numbers did jive, so I'm okay with that. But why do I have to wait for that? And that's not just me, right? If I'm saying this, believe me, other people are going through the same thing. And you got to remember, as a meeting planner or hotel site selection agency is what I call myself or my company. People rely on their money to get paid, right? You know, we got stuff going on too, right? So one thing, and I can recall this so vividly back when I was on property, is that I remember this is I don't know, it's a while back where the economy had, I think the economy was down or whatever. So I'm thinking about 08, 09, right? Somewhere around there. And we weren't paying vendors, right? We weren't paying vendors because we didn't have money because money wasn't coming in. So what I told and I told the GM this too, the GM, the controller, I said, I want to make sure we're paying our travel agents and our meeting planners first before we're paying anyone else. Because at the end of the day, those are the ones that are keeping us going during this whatever business slowdown or economy shift or whatever was going on at that time. And they looked at me like I was crazy. Like, we got to pay the vendors. I said, you can get another vendor. Okay, we can get other vendors to sell us meat, okay, or whatever the heck it is. There's many vendors out there that want this hotel's business, okay? So, but there's a relationship with these travel agents as well as the meeting planners. And I don't want to have to go back and get more business, okay? I don't want to have to just take care of them. So I made sure before they started calling me, because guess who the travel agents and the meeting planners are going to call because they didn't get their commission? They're going to be calling me. And they're not going to call the controller. They're going to be calling me because I have the relationship with them. So I made sure that happened. So I'm asking for the same thing, right? So hotels need to, and I'm like I said, it's not across the board, but like I said, this is just one instance. It just happened to me. It's been happening for like since April, but I just decided to bring it up today because it still hasn't been resolved, right? So these are the things that we deal as being an entrepreneur in this space, right? So you want to make sure you're getting paid, right? And that's just that. I mean, I understand that's how it works. It's normally 30 to 45 days after the event is over is when you would get paid anyway, right? But this is well over that, right? I'll give amount for that, 30 to 45 days. I understand that. But anything outside of that, now, no, you're crazy. I'm not dealing with that. Okay, so, but anyway, I see some comments. Robbie says, in order to maintain the relationship, I would want all commissions paid timely for future business. Boom. Okay, absolutely. Robin, we want the future business, and I want to be a preferred property. See, who am I talking to? Who are these people? This is a director of sales, who is Robin, and then this is a general manager, who is Dylan, okay? So they get it, I'm sure they don't have no problems over there. Okay, no one has problems with them, but it's not about them. It's the other people. Okay, I wasn't dealing with them this morning. I was dealing with somebody in Miami. Okay, so but anyway, let's see. And then Dylan says Houston, a 2026 World Cup host city. That is right. Congratulations to Houston, and we are too. SoFi Stadium. We're gonna host the World Cup as well. So as if LA needs more business. We got the Olympics coming up. We just had the Super Bowl. We have the national championship game, college football next year. We're on the map here, okay? As if we weren't on the map before. LA, SoFi Stadium. Hey, that's Inglewood though. That's not even LA. That's Inglewood. So, the wood. Anyway, so Dylan says I like sharing the mid-stage changes with coordinators and the travel agents, so there's no contention about the final bill. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, Dylan. Make sure your counterparts know that. I didn't mean to go off on that subject, but yes, it was something that's actually is important because, like I said, it's not just about me. Other meeting planners, I have these conversations with them in their businesses. They have to follow up on stuff too. There's some degree of following up. We have to do that because it's our business. We do have to follow up, but we need some help, right? Because it's not across the board where everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're not diligent about, running reports and sending things in and making sure things are, you're getting paid on timely. I remember just another commission I was waiting for. All I had to do was just email. She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I had submitted it already. I'm sorry. Let me follow up." And like within that week, they sent me a check. I don't know why they sent me a check and not, direct deposit, but they sent me a check, right? Within the week of me talking to her, 5 days. Okay. So, and I like to say that was an oversight on her. She thought she had, submitted this, but obviously she didn't. Maybe she didn't push the last button. I don't know. But she took care of it within a couple of days, and she was communicating with me along the way. So that's okay. It's okay to forget, but just follow up on it. Okay, it don't need to go another 30 days. Anyway, whoo, I'm starting to sweat. I think I need a drink of water. But anyway, that's it. So that's that. Hotel site selection. Life. Okay, people. You get to travel and this and that. Oh, that's so fun. Yeah, it is fun. It is. Get to see different destinations and stay in some nice hotels around the country and, sometimes around the world. Yes. But when it comes down to hotels not paying commissions when they're supposed to be, that can be an issue, right? So let's just make sure we're doing everything we can. And I've set up with Marriott and Hilton and I think IHG where they do direct deposit, right? So, then that way I don't have to wait for the check because it's the check that's 30 to 45 days, right? If you already have, they can still wait long, but normally you get it probably within a couple of weeks, right? So there you go. So that's that entrepreneur life, right? So first we got to find business. Then we follow up with our clients. Then we send an RFP. Then we receive proposals from the hotels. Then we forward the information to clients. We do the contract negotiation, which includes pricing with the hotel contact. Then the event happens. Then we got to follow with the client after the event. Then request group pickup report, which I talked about. And then submit an invoice, which I got to do now, right? And then follow up on the commissions after that. So hopefully all that, happens, right? But, there's a step-by-step process on what you need to do in order to get paid when you're a hotel site selection or maybe even travel agent too. But a lot of travel agents, they're in the consortium where all the money goes to one thing and then they, I don't know how they divvy that up because I never worked for a travel agent, but I assume all the money goes in and whatever reservations you made, you get a percentage off of that. Or maybe some of the people are paid hourly, right? So not all of them are paid via the commission. They can be paid hourly. But how our model as a meeting planner, unless you work for a big company, well, like Conference Direct and all them, they're still based on, they're all commission based, but Conference Direct or Helms Briscoe, they get a bigger percentage off of it. The reason why I started my own thing and not gone with a Conference Direct or Helms Briscoe is that they take more percentage off of that money that you would have made on your own, right? So if it's 10% that the hotel's paying, I get all 10%. Okay. Some of these other agencies or organizations, they only get like 5%. Okay. What makes more sense? I don't know. But hey, it's something. It works for people. That works for them. But that just didn't work for me. So that's what. And they don't have to chase their money. I guess they have someone else to chase their money, right? But I have to chase my own money, right? So, but hey, it is what it is. We do it and we keep it moving. Okay. So, but I just wanted to share that with everyone because I know I am not the only one that goes through it. Okay. So let's see. Sponsorship. Remember I don't have the music today. I'm gonna tell you about that. I've been getting in trouble for music lately. I know I'm going off topic today, but this is a hotel in Nicaragua, right? So Friday morning, I get a text from Brandon Gerson. Okay, so he's my contact. He's a co-owner of this particular property, this Aqua Oceanfront Resort in Nicaragua, right? That I have to make it out there by the end of the year, right? Because I have a group that's interested in going there. 30 people want to go and check out this hotel. So they're one of our sponsors, right? So I get a call, not a call, but he texts me. He texts me on Friday, right? I already think wrong, didn't I? Well, that's just me. So yeah, so I text. He texts me just saying, "Hey, let me send you this video." So he sends me like a video, a real-time video, right? Very nice, and I'm like, "Wow, this is cool," right? So I think I shared that on one of my platforms, or several of my platforms. I think Facebook as well as LinkedIn. I think Twitter as well. So check that out. It was a real-time video. I didn't get to show all of the room because his family's there with him, right? So I didn't, I don't want to show kids and his wife and all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to show really the view is what I wanted to show. And I think that came out really well. But yeah, it's a spectacular location. They're kind of like tree houses, right? They're individual rooms. Some of them are larger than others. Some of them sleep up to 4 people. They have several rooms and a common bathroom and all that kind of stuff. But they're very unique, and they share, or they have this one private beach, and it is spectacular. And then for groups that are large, they will bring in boats, they will bring in music, entertainment, all this kind of stuff for the group. So you can basically buy out the place, right? Because he said it sleeps 100 people. It has enough space for 100 people. So people buy it out all the time for what he said. So I got to make it out there. I'm gonna fly into Liberia, Costa Rica, and it's a 2-hour drive from there to Nicaragua, across the border and all that kind of stuff. So when I do it, you'll be the first one to know. Okay. So, but I just want to thank him for sending that out, and of course I give them a shout out, and of course they offer that Russell of Hotels rate. So there you go. And it's more than 2% that Rona was going to give me last week. Okay? Not give me, but give you guys, right? So let's see. 3 things I always say: be intentional, make decisions, and take action on what's important to you. Number 2, be you. Whatever, all else fails, can't nobody take you away from you, okay? Just be you. And 3, be represented, because your representation or my representation matters. It matters that people that look like me can do this stuff. They can come on here and talk about hotel stuff because, they have that experience to talk about. So there you go. So it's important that people that are coming in back to me, people may say, hey, you know what? I want to work in a hotel, but I don't see anybody there that looks like me. And that happens, right? All right. So we need to be represented, right? So do you know the real reason I majored in what I majored in? Because there's only 2 other black people in my major: Victor and Suzanne. That was it. Victor Simmons, the VP of Ace Hotels, and Suzanne, her last name was Burke at that time. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Suzanne in years. But there was only 3 of us, right? So, and I said, you know what? I'm going to major in this, okay? Because representation, even back then, that was a whole 100 years ago. And I was like, you know what? it matters. Okay, so there you go. And then it matters, and representation matters where people kind of forget, or maybe they don't care. I don't know. But in promotions, right? Meaning, if there's a hotel and there's pictures of certain people, and your people look like you are not represented. Well, did you know, like, I'm gonna say, like, it's like 50% of people. It's over 50%. 50% of African Americans will book a place if they see themselves in a promotion. Over like 50%, right? So if they don't see any black people in any of the hotel's promotions or destination promotions, they won't stay there. Just simple as that. So that means that people, it's not just black people, it's other people want to be represented as well. They want to see themselves staying at your place, right? So, that's money that you're probably not even getting. Let's just think about that. That's probably money that you're not even getting, and all you got to do is show that, and that's going to get more people. You're going to get, 50-something percent. You're missing out on that now, right? So I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. This is stuff that's out there. It's not stuff that I'm just pulling out of my butt. It came out of somebody else's. So. But I'm here to share information, right? That's what it's all about. That's why they gave me the platform, so I can share information. How to buy a hotel. Man, I haven't, I had so many guests on here. I had forgot about all the stuff that this is all new to me. So how to buy a hotel. This is from Davon Reeves. I have the book right here. I don't know if you can see that. I have the book right here, right? Still reading, and I've read it, and now I'm going back and I'm taking notes. I'm highlighting things. I'm taking notes. It's one of those books that what is it? It's stuff that makes sense because I worked in hotels, but it's stuff you didn't think about because you're not a hotel owner, and I wasn't thinking about being a hotel owner, right? So that's the thing, right? So so it's one of those books that makes you think, like, oh wow, this is cool. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, right? So I started to highlight things, write some notes and things like that. So I mean, it's a great book. How to Buy a Hotel. It is on Amazon, I believe. You can buy it. Or just Google How to Buy a Hotel by Davon Reeves. She's a firecracker. Mr. Dylan Beaumont says, Brandon collects those beautiful age maps. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, he does. He had them in his office or his garage. What else? Bruce Jordan said on Robin and Nikki's podcast, he saw many hotel shows on TV and online, but no host looked like him. It inspired him to make his own content as a host, supported by his wife. Boom. Okay. See, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. So, and obviously, Mr. Bruce Jordan, the MJF Hotel, that matters to him as well. Now, him and I mean, like I said, I'm going off on another tangent. Thank you so much, Dylan Beaumont, for making me go off on this tangent. But I was on Bruce's show, right? What is it? God, I can never remember the name of it. But go to my, LinkedIn, and it's on there. But gosh, hotel manager stories, something like that. I can't remember. Somebody's going to tell me what it's called. But I was on his show. He actually came over, right? He's from Miami. He was in LA. I invited him over to the house. We talked. And we have a lot of similarities, although like he's from the East Coast, I'm from here. But we have some of the same things that we deal with, right? And so we went to the beach. We did this. I mean, the dude has a whole production, and you would think he would probably need about 3 people. You would think to do the video, he used about 3 people. It was just him. He was flying a drone. He was set up. You had lapel microphones. He had 2 or 3 cameras going on at one time. You got a side shot, you got a front shot, he's a whole production team. So Bruce Jordan knows the stuff. He knows how to save hotels, hotels that are in the red. He knows how to get them up and running. So yeah, owners should, if you have a hotel that's in the red, you need to have Bruce Jordan come in and evaluate your hotel. And I'm being serious about that. So, but he knows. I mean, he said, I'm gonna read this again. So he's on Robin's show, Robin and Nikki's show. It's called Don't Look Under the Bed. I haven't listened to that podcast yet, but I will. And it says, um, Bruce Jordan said on Robin and Nikki's podcast, he saw many hotel shows on TV and online, but no host looked like him. Okay. It inspired him to make his own content as a host. So there you go. I mean, and everybody has a reason for getting into where they are, right? Whatever space they're in. Everyone had a reason for that. Was that my reason? No, that was not my reason. But I knew that there were no other people that looked like me, or not that many. In fact, I didn't even know Bruce until I had already started mine. So because what I always say, I never compete with anyone, but I just want to make sure I'm putting out the right content. I'm making sure people know my voice and what I stand for. And yeah, and I look different, right? But I want to make sure I know just as much as they do, okay, or anyone else, okay. So, and I present mine in a different way, and no smoke to them or anything like that. They do how they want to do it. I support them, just like a lot of people support me. So there you go. Lonnie Wolf, Bruce is the godfather of the hotel space. You know what? Lonnie's the only one that could come in, 10 minutes to the show over and say something like, you think Lonnie been here all show, right? You know what I mean? Thank you, Lonnie. Bruce is the godfather of the hotel space. Hi to all in the house. What's up, Lonnie? Hotels do's and don'ts. Yeah, that's Bruce's show. But he has another one too. It's another one called Hotel Management. Gosh. Anyway, but yeah, hotel do's and don'ts. Bruce Jordan, the MJ of hotels. Anyway, we're coming home now. So I already said how to buy a hotel. Who is your best brand advocate? If you say anyone else other than you, we got a problem. But no, you are your best hotel advocate, because if you're not excited about your brand and what you do, no one else is going to be. All right. So just make sure you remember that. Increase social media engagement. How do you increase social media engagement? Consistency. As I mentioned earlier, remember, I've been doing more lives, so I'm trying to be consistent with that. If I can do them every morning, because I've been walking, I have a different route I've been walking, so the route is so long, I'm like, well, what can I do? Listen to music, I do that, but I said, you know what? I can do live. So whatever it is, just be consistent. If you're doing it every day, then do it every day. If it's once a week, stick to that. 3 times a week, whatever it is, just be consistent and stick with it. The second thing, add value. Make sure you're adding value to someone, because it's not just about going live and it's about you, because this is what I want to say. Maybe that's how it starts off, but the more you get engaged or the more you're engaging people, they'll let you know what they like. Because if you had 100 people at first and then all of a sudden you only got 10, well, something you're saying is not resonating with people, right? So you got to change up. So go back to, well, how did I get those 100 people? What was I talking about then? And maybe kind of, try to gear it towards that, if you will. So add value. Make sure it's a value to someone. And then be authentic. Be you. Be your authentic self. No, just be you, okay? Okay, nobody take that away from you. No one can take your personality away from you, because that's your personality, right? This is me, all right? Take it or leave it, right? This is me, right? Now, once you know all that, how do you, what do you use? What tools do you use? Use IG Reels. That's what I'm big on IG Reels, right? I love IG Reels. Although I did get in trouble, and I was, telling that story a little while ago. They've been suspending my music. I've been using music without permission. I'm like, that's not true, because you can't use it without permission. You basically go to Reels, and Reels, just for people that don't know, you pair a video with music, right? So it gives you the option. You put the video first, and then it has a little music note. You click on the music note, and it gives you a list of songs that you can add. I mean, it's basically any song out there. It's going to give you little snippets, right? Let's say 15-second snippets. So it's perfectly legal. It's not like I'm saying that, I sang My Prerogative, no, we know that's Bobby Brown. No, I'm not taking I'm not taking ownership of that. No, I'm just using the snippet of music. And a lot of my videos have nothing to do with, monetizing anything. It's just basically showing a video of whatever it is, a hotel, food, whatever. And that's just it. But you're able to use a snippet of music, right? So I've been getting these things that, hey, we're taking your video down because this song is banned in these countries. And they give you a list of like 100 countries that it's banned in, because the reason why is because Instagram goes to all those countries, right? So you have people, excuse me, I had a drink of water. Excuse me. You have people in those countries that, for whatever reason, may be banned. The music may be banned in those countries, right? But they'll take it down, right? I'm like, well, are you taking it down and the U.S. is not on there? Are you taking it down everywhere or just there? It's not really clear. It just say your music is banned. And I'll tell you what it was. It was a go-go song, Vacation. Okay, vacation, all I ever wanted, vacation, had to get away. You know that song, right? I love the Go-Go's, whatever. Anyway, they started in Hollywood. They were a punk band before they became a rock band. Did you know that? They were a punk band in that whole punk scene in Hollywood. Look at their documentary. That's one of the dopest documentaries I've ever seen, the Go-Go's, right? So check it out. I don't even know how I got in that. And people are like, he likes the Go-Go. What? Wait a minute. What? Time out. People are like, wait a minute. Go back to that. Let me rewind that. Yeah. Love the Go-Go's. So anyway, well, check out the documentary, the Go-Go's, right? So, and you say, I heard that on Russell Hotel. He talked about it, and I watched it, and it was dope. He was right. So, so yeah, so that was one of the songs that got banned. But then 3 days later, then they say, oh, your ban is lifted. Okay, you weren't, because you have a right, you have the opportunity to appeal it. You can appeal that you've been blocked, right? I'm like, I had authority to use it. You guys gave me the authority to use it. I'm not just using it just because. But yeah, so and I don't know what's going on, because, like I said, at least 3 times I posted it in the last 7 days that I've been blocked, or they've taken it off temporarily. I think I'm still waiting for one to come back. But anyway, let's see. Dylan says, have a good day, Lonnie. And then he also says, we'll check it out. Never heard of what? The Go-Go's documentary or being banned on IG? Which one, Dylan? I'm not sure what you're saying. So yeah, so use IG Reels and use Live. Be consistent. Those are things that I use. Who's hiring, man? Woo! Real quick. Director catering at the Moxie Hotel downtown LA. Now this hotel has not even opened yet, so it's a dual property in the same building though. It's a Moxie, and I can't remember the other one, but Moxie is a Marriott property. I can't think of what the other one is, but what is it? Not a Renaissance. I can't remember, but the Moxie is the one that's looking for a director of catering, right? So, but it's not open yet, but it's coming online, I believe, this year. Area sales director at Hotel June, which is in Los Angeles. This actually just north of LAX. It's in kind of Westchester, right? It's actually a nice hotel. It used to be something else before. The general manager, Highgate Hotels, is looking for a GM in Los Angeles. Now, the only Highgate hotel that I know of, Highgate is a management company, is the Hotel Figueroa. So maybe the Hotel Figueroa, downtown LA, they're looking for a general manager. But go on Indeed.com and find all of these that I mentioned. And then the Green Tree Hotel in Pasadena, they're looking for a general manager as well. The Green Tree Hotel in Pasadena. Okay, there you go, Dylan. See, Dylan don't even live in LA. He's giving me information about LA. It's the AC Hotel. So it's a Moxie / AC Hotel, 37 stories. Yes, it's right across from it's not Staples Center anymore. It's called the Crypto Center. It's right across from the Crypto Center. Crypto, cryptocurrency. Some people are like, wait a minute, crypto? What is that? What are you saying here? But yeah, the Crypto Center. That used to be Staples Center. Non-meat eats. Real quick on the non-meat eats. Okay, so last Friday, maybe it's 2 Fridays ago now. Went to this place called Sugar Taco. Now they have two locations, one in LA, one in Studio City, which is on Ventura Boulevard. Now I want to say so bad that I love the food, but I can't say it. And this is the first time I've ever said this, right? I feel bad. No, I don't feel bad because they need better food. Okay, I don't feel bad, but it's called Sugar Taco. It was okay. Okay, I won't, will I go back? I don't think so. It was just a culmination of things. It wasn't just the food, it was the service. I had to keep getting up to get stuff and ask for this, ask for that. It's the whole experience, right? So I was disappointed in the whole experience. The food was okay, right? But it wasn't like, some of the other places. Some other Mexican vegan places are just on point. I mean, the food is dope, the service is good, all that stuff. But I really wanted to like this. I really did, but I just, I was with my friend Mark, and he was like, he was pumping up. He said, oh man, this is all right. Then I looked at him. He said, you didn't like it, right? I said, it was okay. He said, yeah, I didn't know how you felt because I was paying, right? So he said, you know what? Yeah, it wasn't, what I thought it was going to be. That's what he said too, right? After I said what I said, right? I said, dude, just because I'm paying don't mean you can't voice your opinion on the food, okay? But yeah, but I wanted to like it. But if you're there, try it out and let me know what you think, right? I'm not telling people don't go there. I'm just saying that Russell didn't like it. Sugar Taco, Ventura Boulevard, prime location too. I mean, great location, but oh well, don't like it. Can't help that. What do I do? I'm a brand show off. What does that mean? Content creating. I do content creating and show off your brand, right? So I'm the brand that shows off your brand. I'm the brand that gets your brand noticed. Doesn't that sound good? But remember, the brand starts with you as the person, right? It's not, we always think the brand is that sign on the building. Well, yeah, it is. But if you work for that brand that's on the sign on the building, they're not buying that. They're buying you. So remember, people buy you before they buy the sign on the building. Like Russell works for the Sheraton. Okay, yeah, all right. But we buying Russell because we like him. We like the way he does business. It has nothing to do with the hotel. If Russell went to another hotel, we're probably following. And that's what you want people to say or people to think. Like wherever Russell goes, I'm riding with him. Okay. So that's how you want it. So think about it like this. You are the brand. Okay. You just happen to work for another brand or you happen to represent another brand. Okay. Like Russell of Hotels can't help nobody. Okay. Russell can. You know what I mean? So do you get what I'm saying? So hotels, tourism, and non-meat eats. That's what I'm about. So anything I post, I'm never going to post real food. Oh, I almost caught myself. Things with meat in it. I'm never going to post that stuff because I don't eat that stuff. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it, but you got to be true to who you are, right? So if I said I'm about non-meat eats, and all of a sudden I'm showing steak and seafood, oh, fried fish, oh my God, no, you can't do that. You confuse people. That's called brand confusion. Well, I thought Russell was non-meat eats, but he got fried fish on his videos. I mean, people that may be with me because I go to vegan friendly places, right? That still serve real food, but I'm not showing their food. I'm just gonna show what I ate. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Okay, hotel site selection. Which I explained a little while ago in great detail. And then I'm a show producer or a show host. I mean, I produce the show, I star in it, I do all that stuff, I write it, all that stuff. So, International Hospitality Institute, I'm in the top 30, their top 30 podcasts for hospitality. That's international. And then as far as social media influencers, I'm one of them. I'm in the top 25 for that for 2021. Contact information, if you want to get a hold of me, please feel free to email me, russell@russellofhotels.com. If you wanted to call me, you can go to my website, russellofhotels.com, and my phone number is there. You can call me. You can call me right now. I can be talking to you right now. If you have questions or whatever, call me. Follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube so whenever I do lives or this show, whatever, boom, it pops up. So we're getting to the end here. I'm not going to do the SSI chart thing today. One thing, what are you doing to keep your brand relevant? What are you doing? I mean, I'm doing this show, okay? That's what keeps my brand relevant. I post, I do lives. I don't want people to forget what I do, right? Or where I work or who I work for or my company or anything like that. Dylan says, I appreciate your work stories. Thank you so much. Dylan says 600 square feet of meeting space? 600,000? Wow. That's really, that's almost more than convention center has. Maybe that's telling you something, right? That is amazing. Thank you so much, Dylan, for sharing the information. See, I mentioned the Moxie and AC Hotel opening up in downtown LA, and Dylan is already on it. He's already given me the specifics of that hotel. So it's going to be it is a monster now. It hasn't opened yet. Do you have a opening date, Dylan? While I'm finishing up here, so I'm not going to do the SSI chart. Let's see. 3 P's. You know what those are. Always end the show. Get close to ending the show with the 3 P's. And they are purpose, passion, and perseverance. Purpose, know why you do what you do. So I should know why I'm doing this show. I shouldn't just be out here just willy-nilly, just like, oh, I just feel like talking. Well, no, you got to have something to talk about, right? So make sure you know why you do what you do. I do it because I want to reach the hospitality people. I want hospitality people to come on the show, talk about how they started, just like Rona Hill last week. She came on the show. She talked about how she started, what she's doing now, what hotel she's at, what type of business is there, and how the, pandemic affected her. I mean, all those kind of things, right? You don't know that unless people tell you. A lot of times you don't know what people are going through, right? So this is a way for people to come on and tell their story because no two people got in this industry alike. Passion, either you have it or you don't, okay? And if you don't have the passion, what should you do? Go and do something else, okay? Tell them I told you that. Perseverance, be consistent, continue to evolve, don't give up, and swerve when you need to. Swerve, some people use that word, that P word, that pivot word. We don't use that here. We swerve because when you're in the crap, you see the crap there, right? The crap is coming, right? You can swerve around it. You don't have to stay in it. When you're pivoting, you're just basically in the crap. You see it, it's there, and you're just moving around in it. You know what I mean? That's the difference between swerving and pivoting, as it relates to Russell Hotel. So this fall, 2020, no total hotels. Oh, that's total hotel space. Okay, that's 65,000 square feet of meeting space. It's opening up this fall, 2022. Okay, very good. See, that's good information. Thank you so much, Dylan, for getting that information. And they're looking for a director of catering at that hotel. If you're interested in working at the Moxie, you got to have Moxie to work there. You know what I mean? So if you don't have any Moxie, don't go over there. All right, just letting you know. Next week, we have a guest, Mr. Chris Hodges, speaker, educator, and entertainer. Now, I met Mr. Chris Hodges. I met him at the last show I went to. Which was that? That was gosh, I can't think. I was about to say Connect. It wasn't Connect, but anyway, he was a speaker there, right? He's a speaker. He's an author of several books. He was giving the book out, right? And I asked him, I said, do you think you can come on the show and come and talk about, what was it? Leadership in hospitality right now, like as we're dealing with things now, coming out of this COVID thing, come on and talk about leadership. So he said yes. So he's going to come on and he's going to talk about that. He has a great background. He was in West Point. Okay, so the show just went up another notch, right? We're going to have a West Point graduate on the show next week. Okay, on air with Russell Hotels, Chris Hodges, West Point graduate. Okay, so we're just leaps and bounds now. Okay, we're just going up there now. There's no stopping us. Ain't no stopping us now. But no, he's going to be on the show next week. You know, of course, I never tell people what the questions I'm gonna ask them. But he volunteered to send me some questions. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think so. We're just gonna wing it. Okay, we're gonna wing it and see. You know what I mean? But no, he's gonna talk about basically like leadership. What leaders need to have. Our hospitality leaders, what you should have now coming out of this COVID moving forward. Okay, because the climate has changed, right? Believe it or not, the climate has changed. So I'm happy to have Mr. Chris Hodges on next week, and I thank him for agreeing to be on the show. Right. So thank you so much, Chris, again. So that's it. I mean, all that, and it's just 2:07, right? So thank you guys so much for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. I do appreciate it. I don't take it lightly that people come on the show or people want to listen. I thank you so much. But thank you so much to Dylan, to, let's see.
Thank you for joining
Dylan, to Lonnie, to Robin,
Please
to Charles
every
Skipper, to
Tuesday
Stacy.
at 1 p.m.
Appreciate you guys coming on. Yes, take care.
Peace. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success, rather become a person of great value.